Welcome to episode 3 of our ongoing conversations with developer of conscious technology, Victor Sims. Welcome back, Victor.
Thank you.
So this is a very interesting point. We are, in fact, at this point in history, living a very particular moment on this planet. And I believe we've all chosen to incarnate. I believe every single soul on this planet has chosen to be here right now. And every single soul on this planet has some sort of purpose for being here right now. But what you're speaking about are external influences that actually don't allow us to even be aware of that purpose. And you've gone through some of these diverse transmissions. So why don't we just speak about that a little bit? You were speaking about the television, for example. So the news. So a collective construct around events happening on the planet has a potential impact. What other potential impacts are there?
I think from, then this is just an intuitive thing. I don't know it to be true. I think that any form of transmission, i.e. radio mast, telephone mast, even through mobile phones, I think there's a potential there for it to carry some sort of wave that changes our reality, so that either we don't want to be spiritual, or we just buy into the whole construct that, and I think buy into the whole construct that spirituality doesn't exist, and we're just happy to sit in front of the TV on a couch and just let the world go by. And I wouldn't want to get into any conspiracy theories about why that would be ideal under certain agendas, but I do believe that we have the ability to change that reality for those people who are actually trying to wake up. Maybe it's on their path to wake up at this time.
It's on their higher selves or their soul's intention to wake up in this lifetime.
Yeah, I think it's, as you say, that our soul is, we incarnate because we know what's going on, but at the same time, if we're nobbled in some way, it's a bit like nobbling a race, in a horse race. If we're nobbled, we're nobbled. And
well, we speak about this. I mean, small children who have this very open faculty for connecting to different levels of reality, it starts to be impeded by our educational system, the things we're exposed to, our social situations. So this particular formula, could it be, in fact, useful for maintaining, assuming that when I incarnate as a small child, I'm more resonant with the Creator's original blueprint for my existence.
And some people might just naturally be able to hold that space anyway. Doesn't mean to say that everybody's going to be subjected to a change, but those people who are subjected to a change, at one level they've agreed to that too.
Right.
So, it's not the victim, it's not a perpetrator here, it's the fact that it's an option and they've agreed to it. And we have to look at that side of it too. They've authorized that experience.
This brings us to this aspect of conscious choice. I think many people unconsciously make that choice not to, in fact, live their most authentic higher selves purpose. But I think for many of us, there may not be the sense that we have that choice. So where does free will and choice come into this equation, do you think? Again, speaking about the construct of reality and how we navigate it.
I think that as we learn more about consciousness, we can see a bigger picture all the time. Every time a layer of our consciousness improves or gets higher, or is a higher frequency, or we become more aware, probably awareness, and we realize, we see the reality of the lies. As we see all this stuff, we can step back and have a different viewpoint about it.
How are we able to navigate it in ways diverse from our usual quotidian day-to-day choices?
I don't know that we can make that many choices. We can choose to avoid things, and we can choose what toothpaste we use. But ultimately, our soul self, which I think controls the whole thing. You know, I mentioned before that I think we're in a play or in a game, and we've got certain parameters to work between. But ultimately, we're trying to find and navigate our way through this game, through this maze, through this play, to rejoin the creator's love in some way. And there's many different obstacles, many hundreds or thousands of different paths that could get us to that place. And we know that over the other side of that fence there is that love that we're looking for.
I would say, is it not always present, and it's just our awareness of it? It's not as if it's out there that we're having to bridge to.
Yeah, but
it's inside of us all the time, and maybe we've fallen asleep to that.
It is, but for the majority of people who haven't had that inner experience, it's always out there. Mm-hmm. So, and most people say, most people are looking for love, and they find love in another person, or the love they're looking for is not necessarily comes back from that person in the way that they wanted it. So it leaves them still looking for love, because that isn't the love really that they want. That's more sort of a conditional love. But the real love that people are looking for is actually just in there. So when they have the realisation that it's just in there, connecting to the Creator's love, it's an internal experience, it's a beingness type of experience. And when people realise that, well, that completely changes the viewpoint of the whole game. It gives you a completely different perspective. If you can maintain that love, then you're not looking for it outside. But initially we do, because we don't necessarily know that love is inside of everybody. So we're looking for it externally because we think it must be external.
And so this technology that you're developing might give people a leg up in...
It can immerse them in the experience of love. As an example, love in terms of clearing out all the dross that's in their heart, which is, I think most of everything is stuck in there. So there's lots of processes of cleaning that out. And then eventually, as the Lama would say, you're in that place of nothingness, and you become that love. But it's only because you've realised that love's inside and it's not an external thing.
Okay, I think that's actually the beautiful place to wrap this up.
Okay.
So, yeah, thank you, Victor.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us for this conversation with Victor Sims.